Arena Breakout Chinese version actually ripped off Google Map from Japan. They will have this on the first day, but after a couple of days, it changes to this image. They were planning to make a Junction Point interesting collab with a Chinese company, which is supposed to be Arena Breakout now. So they plan to implement that while they were working on Streets of Tarkov. Streets of Tarkov was been worked out for a long time, if you guys noticed that. Check out the mirroring situation, Apex Legends versus High Energy Heroes, and Tarkov versus Arena Breakout. Pretty interesting situation. So guys, this is on behalf of the situation that Nikita is claiming Arena Breakout is a whole ripoff of Tarkov, stolen assets or stolen everything. But I'm digging the part where Tarkov and Arena Breakout might have done collaboration before, and that's why they have assets. Why I'm doing this is the situation is interesting. I might be getting trolled, but while Nikita is saying, oh, it's all ripped off, it's all Pleasure's game, they stole everything. But if they actually did a collab and gave out the assets, like the situation would be so funny if that's true. I hope you guys just enjoyed the story as a tinfoil hat theory, or it might be actually true at some point. I'm gonna delve in more deeper, but I will show you guys what I found until now. More and more I delve in deep, there are just interesting things in it. And also, if you guys actually think this might be something, throw some more ideas. And also, if you guys have any other clues that you guys have on your minds, because it is actually helping to find more and more. So enjoy the full video. Thank you for watching in the advance. So the story all started from Nikita talking about Arena Breakout Infinite might be a ripoff from Tarkov. The whole assets, coding, or the variables, whatever you guys call it. And also Nikita backed it up by saying that people from the community have noticed what is wrong with the screenshots roaming around the Tarkov community, basically claiming Arena Breakout did copy and paste everything and then stolen the assets. And also, if you guys look back, they did also talk about Arena Breakout is a plagiarist game at April 26th before Arena Breakout Infinite has dropped. A lot of people are talking about, oh, why are they talking about plagiarist game before it even came out? It was like a 2 week before, but I'm thinking that's just because they already saw the mobile phone version of the game. That's why they called it plagiarist game, which is really similar in mobile phone game you will see, which is this one. When it dropped for the first time, gameplay 2 years ago, whenever it dropped 2022 generally, Arena Breakout Mobile came out. And then if you watch the actual gameplay, it's very similar to Tarkov. How they interact with the item is also kind of similar. How they're holding the gun is also kind of similar. How they check the magazines are also kind of similar with like some skipped animations. Actually, to be honest, only on this is kind of hard to say it's Pleasure's game. I kind of agree that assets are actually being taken from Tarkov, which I still have a whole tinfoil hat theory gathered up from multiple things. It might become to be true, you know, the conspiracies sometimes become to be true. So from this mobile phone game, I think Nikita was mentioning that it's a plagiarist game. And it's this comment again, some of you guys might have already seen it, but it's just a random dude on random YouTube channel. So this is where all my tinfoil hat theories started. A dude popped out here. Fun fact, Arena Breakout was actually planned to be a Tarkov spin-off, set in Primorsky Krai and province of Jilin, Chinese, North Korean, Russian border. During the mid-stage development, the project was cancelled as BSG wanted to focus on Tarkov only, which Nikita always shouts out so many times. He wants to focus on Tarkov, he wants to focus on Tarkov, he wants to full release. That's why you will see some of the Arena Breakout assets, such as animation, were directly ported from Tarkov, or maybe they just stole the assets. Anyways, let's read more. Port was originally named as Nahodka Port. Valley was named Andreevka Valley. Farm was more green, and as it was located in Kraskino village. Armory was located in valley of Kasansky district mountains, while Northridge was located in Kasansky mountains. The actual lore is way more political and mostly antagonizing the West. Many factions in the game: Chinese army, Russian army, rogue North Korean soldiers, Russian and Chinese scavs, rogue Russian Navy troops, port elite bots. The main faction were Chinese PMC versus USEX. I tried to reach him out, but he wouldn't really answer. He is SC Burnett, and he only has a YouTube channel as far as I can see. I tried to reach him as much as possible. I tried to comment on his video. He might answer after I edit the video or the recordings, but as far as I can see, he's a dude who likes Ace Combat, and the plane is from Ace Combat game too. Ashley Burnett is a guy too, so he's like a Ace Combat enthusiast, so I tried to reach him out in Discord. Anyways, why I was so into this whole storyline was, there are multiple reasons. First of all, I knew about the card extract in Streets had a weird Chinese letters. At the start of the wipe, it looked like this. One of my viewers who thought it was kind of funny screenshotted it and then saved it for himself and then actually shared it in my Discord. This was the first day of Streets of Tarkov release, which was 2022, December 28th. They dropped Streets of Tarkov with letters as this, which corresponds to husband, Yangye Expo, the glory of the great chairman Mao Zedong, as far as I can understand. I try to understand the situation. What I can understand is looks like a show called Husband, which Yangye Expo, maybe a place or an actress or actor, Yangye, will be doing on museum or the expo, show off a show called Husband, which the whole storyline is glory of the great chairman Mao. So they added this in Streets of Tarkov. This was written here. If you guys check out, I'll show you guys like other boss if I can, but if you guys check out the boss from a bunch of big streamers or YouTubers, they will have this on the first day. But after a couple of days, it changes to this image. Right after the wipe happened and Streets of Tarkov dropped on January 3rd, or maybe even before that, they changed the letter to this thing from this. Why? And this one was very likely talking about Mao Zedong, very politically, showing off Chinese, while this is just a random letter which says dragon and Chinese book or publication. And then at some point between now and before, one of my mods in the Twitch checked for me, completely gone. Some people are saying it's because of the low quality setting or some graphic settings, it just disappeared. No, it's completely gone. But what's interesting about this situation is that, so this is political, talking about Mao Zedong, right? It might be just a troll, obviously. It's kind of interesting that the guy who gave us the whole theory was saying that the actual lore was more political and mostly antagonizing the West, which might fit into that section. And also at the same time, China will be like that all the time. But why would they add this only on this section randomly and keep changing the letters? And I have never ever seen Chinese letters in Streets of Tarkov or any place in Tarkov. It's only there with really out of context graphics also. I've never seen like a mirror image like that in Tarkov 2. Is there any like that? I might have to look that up before I actually upload the video. It's really weird that it has this kind of texture in this game. I've never seen that kind of texture which is mirrory. It's very weird that we have only this texture. It looks like a special display they were preparing for something and then it's all gone. Anyways, why I'm also interested in this part is that you guys might laugh on this one. I think it's pretty funny, but still I found it, so I'll share it. So the Primorsky Avenue Taxi B extract, right? It's a Primorsky Avenue. And at the same time, the guy who mentions about the place talks about Primorsky Krai and province of Jilin. So they keep talking about Primorsky, and then maybe Primorsky is connected to Primorsky Avenue. Might be. I know Tarkov is supposed to be inspired by located on St. Petersburg or whatever, but if they want to cooperate and then do a collab, maybe they change the concept. What I'm trying to say is that Primorsky Krai and Primorsky Avenue kind of fits in. Interesting coincidence. And then we try to check out Jilin place, province. Jilin is pretty interesting place. I have no clue what this place was before, but if you check out, this is Jilin City. This is the layout, and you can see North Korea is right below, and China is on the left, and Russia is right next to it. If you close in, it shows that it's actually junction point of Russia, China, and North Korea. So the guy who wrote down at least completely knows about a map. I never knew about this place at all. You can see here Russia, China, and it's North Korea. Aoji is the famous gulag in North Korea, which the prisoners will be sent. And then also Russia and China. So Jinling is an actual place which he claims to be Chinese, North Korean, Russian border. So more and more I looked into his comment, it's not like randomly pulled out from his head. He does sound like he prepared his lie a lot, if that's a lie. Anyways, Jilin province. So we try to look at the map and see if it actually looks like Arena Breakout map as much as possible. Sadly, we didn't really find out Arena Breakout map, but one interesting part is that Arena Breakout Chinese version, which is supposed to be the mobile phone version, actually ripped off Google Map from Japan. You guys can see the similarity here, right? This part and Arena Breakout, this part is exactly the same. It's from Japan. It was found by one of my viewers also whenever I was streaming. It's actually Japan if you zoom out. There's South Korea, there's Japan, there's North Korea, Jinling is here. Pretty interesting, eh? And then another part is that this is another Chinese map, which doesn't really matter on this one. We couldn't find anything. Maybe somebody could find out. Maybe the GeoGuessr guy can find out if you guys know in YouTube. Oh yeah, there was another interesting part about when these letters were keep changing. So this was dropped at 13.0.0, which dropped the Streets of Tarkov. And then I tried to check out when did this change to this. I tried to reference from official Tarkov Discord. They have their announcements here. And then inside their announcements, I can check out 0.13.0.0. Then you can see our famous expert jar has announced that 13.0.0 has been begun. But after that, what is interesting is that 13.0.1 is gone. It's not there, which very likely from here to this changed at that moment at 13.0.1. I know they don't announce every little things, but after that, 13.0.2 has been announced. As you guys can see, 13.03 has been announced, 13.0.4 has been announced. Everything else has been announced except 13.0.1, which was from this to this. It can be nothing, but it's that only that part is missing is also weird. It was this guy's video. So you can see at 13.0.0 on the bottom, you guys can see it. I'll screenshot it just in case. On this one, which was taken, you can see the one big letter, which is supposed to be this. You guys can see the similarity. This was supposed to be taken at January 3rd. So this is whenever after a couple of days. So 13.01 was completely skipped. That was the point where we needed to find. 13.0.0 was at December 28th, whereas 13.0.1 is skipped and 13.02 is installation was shown at January 27th. It's a big term, but you can see it right here. The letter already changed at January 3rd, before January 3rd at least. So that's another info that it changed after a couple of days, not like after a while. So it's like so weird why they deleted. My theory was this was actually, again, this is just a Team Poehead theory, guys. My theory was they were planning to make a junction point and like a interesting collab with a Chinese company, which is supposed to be Arena Breakout now. So they planned to implement that while they were working on Streets of Tarkov. Streets of Tarkov was been worked out for a long time. If you guys noticed that, it's everybody was waiting for the map. They thought they will never get to see it, but it actually dropped. But from the guy who was claiming that he knows a BSG employee and heard about all these stories, was claiming that he was working on Arena Breakout project back in 2021 and also was a PSG employee. Arena Breakout projects were 2021, which is very likely while they were working on Streets of Tarkov still. and then they dropped after a couple of years Streets of Tarkov, but they forgot to remove this part. And then for a couple of days, some Chinese members actually saw it and were wondering what is happening with this image. The original post was gone, but anyways, if you translate this post, he will be saying that, is it the window display of the great chairman Mao's glory in the Yangtze Expo? I don't understand where the breast is. I don't understand what breast is, but that's what he says. And then I didn't understand what those words meant. You can search for Tarkov and it will come out. A Twitter user posted this. So they were talking about that December 29th whenever Streets of Tarkov was dropped. Maybe BSG saw people talking about it and they kept silent about the 0.13.0.1 and then did a silent update, changing it to this, which is non-controversial. This one was Mao Zedong, talking about Mao Zedong, and then this one is completely like nothing, just a dragon Chinese bookshop or publication. Maybe they forgot to remove it from the collaboration they were planned, but the project was ruined, and then they just dropped it, and then they changed it as quick as possible because Streets of Tarkov was such a long-term project. They just forgot about this part, or you know, as they always do, they just mistaken it. Actually, interesting part is that one of the Chinese guys mentioned here on Baidu saying that this used to be a taboo for live streaming, but it was later changed. They said that on December 30th. So it could have been just BSG made a random joke about Mao Zedong, but like Chinese members were not happy about it, and then it was actually taboo for live streaming on Bilibili, I'm guessing, or Baidu, and then they changed it. It could be possible for that. This guy might be just theory crafting too. I don't know about the history. If anybody knows about that history, please do tell me. But it's pretty still interesting that they've done that. Changed it like right after a couple of days. You guys can see the date. It was 30s. And then it's also already changed into this, even though it was dropped at 28th like this, silently. I guess it was like a little bit dramatic in Chinese community, Chinese letter using community, China or Taiwan, but it's gone for now. Anyways, it was my theory that they were actually planning to do collaboration, but it failed, so they slowly removed it away like this. Like, why would they keep changing it? I get it, maybe they changed it because of the live streaming part, but why would they completely delete it? So I was confused and still on a tinfoil hat theory because of that. More and more. This was also pretty interesting. My theory might be mirroring Apex Legends Mobile situation. Tencent Games is developing Apex Legends Mobile exclusively for China. Respawn, the game developer, has shut down the servers of Apex Legends Mobile. The game failed to complete 1 year anniversary. This was posted in 2023, May 15th. In the meantime, Tencent Games has announced a dedicated Chinese version of the game that is currently under its developing phase. It is important to note that Tencent Games was also one of the publisher of the global version of Apex Legends Mobile, alongside with EA Sports and Respawn. According to the leaker bot, which is prominent leaker, I didn't know about that, Tencent Games is developing a Chinese version of Apex Legends Mobile, which is called High Energy Heroes. And you guys can see the High Energy Heroes right now premiering and it's still on service. What is interesting about this is that Tencent worked with Apex Legends and then ported the game into Apex Legends Mobile. However, Apex Legends Mobile failed, doesn't service anymore. But Tencent still had those assets and did whole art rework, even though game mechanism is gonna be almost exactly the same. Apex Legends players say that, and they also say it feels better. While it's a complete different game, complete different name they published, excluding the Apex Legends part. So Tencent has done similar thing already. Kinda reminds Arena Breakout and Tarkov. Could be possible. Maybe BSG actually worked out with Arena Breakout but got ditched, or they ditched, and then Arena Breakout came out and BSG is denying it, calling it a plagiarist game, or it might be just another theory. But interesting to check out the mirroring situation, Apex Legends versus High Energy Heroes and Tarkov versus Arena Breakout. Pretty interesting situation. TLDR, there's a random post who claims to be knowing a BSG employee knows about Arena Breakout was supposed to be planned to be a Tarkov spin-off, and then the project was cancelled because BSG wanted to focus on Tarkov, which Nikita always mentions about. He wants to focus on Tarkov, he wants to release the game. A lot of things doesn't sound like he just randomly pulled it out. It actually sounds like something such as the Jinlin province. Pretty interesting concept. Chinese, North Korean, and Russian border. And as far as I played Arena Breakout Infinite, there are Chinese scabs. Very likely North Korean scabs. That kind of backs up my theory, in my opinion. There was one part, and the second part was Nikita has been keep pushing the part that it's a plagiarist game, even though they haven't been caring about mobile phone game. Maybe they didn't know about they will actually go into the PC game and then actually hurt their player base number count. Whenever they were phone games only, and then they knew about the assets they shared, in my theory, they were cool about it because they weren't actually taking the players, but now they're getting angry. So they're preparing a lawsuit or whatever, but they're not doing it right away because they need to prepare, or maybe they had an agreement. And then the map was pretty interesting. The Primorsky relationship with the actual Tarkov map, and then the Primorsky theory this guy was giving, Primorsky cry. Yeah, the Chinese setter keeps changing in a weird way. And then now they want to prove that and do something about it because they're literally losing the player base, which caused by themselves. If Tarkov was doing well, it would be not that much hurting, but after that did Unhurt edition, it started to happen. What's also interesting about this is that some people are even saying this is plot twist. Nikita and Tencent is working together and then trying to juice out Tarkov from Unhurt edition, make money out of it, and then Nikita will push the player base to the Arena Breakout, and then they will have a big deal of making money. It's a possibility, but I wouldn't really think that's actually happening. But who knows? We would never know what's inside. And on behalf of that, my theory also is, who knows, it might be actually true. I had fun investigating into these things. I will wait for the guy to respond, the guy who actually made the whole statement about knowing the Arena Breakout is spin-off, a Tarkov spin-off. And also, if you guys want to throw some ideas, please leave it in the comment. And I learned a lot of things about Jinlin. I never knew about it, even though I lived in South Korea. Jinlin is such a place I never knew about. 3 junction points. But anyways, this is just a bunch of tinfoil hat theory. I learned a lot of interesting things. You can clearly see the difference of them changing things. It might be just a troll, it might be nothing, and it might be something. If you guys like this whole tinfoil hat theory, or if you guys even agree the situation, and tell me what you guys think about it and throw more ideas, or if you guys know anything about the situation, please leave it in the comment. And if you guys like these kind of contents, please leave a like. If you guys want to check out videos as quick as possible, put on the notification button on. And if you guys want to check me out on live stream, check out bio link VeryBadSCAV on the screen, and also some other videos on the screen. I'll see you in the next video, guys. Goodbye.